Let us now discuss some very important points about earthworm. In earthworm, the function of clitellum is, you know that clitellar glands are used for the formation of cocoon. So, cocoon formation. Then what makes the mid-dorsal line in an earthworm? Mid-dorsal line, it is due to dorsal blood vessel. Dorsal blood vessel is seen as a mid-dorsal line. Now, what is the second layer of body wall? The second layer in body wall of earthworm is made up of columnar. It is made up of columnar cells. Then, what is the direction of blood in the dorsal blood vessel of an earthworm? Remember, the direction is from posterior to anterior, and the function of DBV is collection and distribution of blood. Now, some other data: male genital apertures. The male genital apertures, one pair on the ventrolateral side in the 18th segment. Male genital apertures, one pair. Spermathecal apertures, four pair, and they are present at the junction of first pair at the junction of 5th and 6th segment, second one 6th and 7th, third one 7th and 8th, and the fourth pair is at the junction of 8th and 9th segment. The groove in between the segment, in that groove the spermathecal apertures are present. Nephridiopores are present from the 7th segment to the last. Let us continue. Let's continue with more bits on Phreatima posthuma. The septal nephridia, where do they open? Septal nephridia open in the intestines. Another question I found: pharyngeal nephridia, where they are present? Pharyngeal nephridia are present in 4th, 5th and 6th segment, and the same answer is of the question: where are the blood glands present? Here also 4th, 5th and 6th segment. And let's continue this question. Blood glands are present in 4, 5 and 6 segment, and what is the function of the blood glands? They help in synthesis of blood cells and hemoglobin formation. Formation of blood cells and hemoglobin. Now, structure that regulate the volume and composition of blood in earthworm. Structures that regulate. One question is in this way. Another question I found: enteronephric nephridia are concerned with. So both of them are almost similar. So structures that regulate volume and composition of blood. Here the answer is nephridia. In general, nephridia. Then enteronephric nephridia are concerned with excretion of nitrogenous waste. Blood is red in earthworm, but what is absent? RBCs or hemoglobin? Yes, answer is RBCs are absent. It is hemoglobin which is responsible for red color. Where are the lateral hearts and lateral esophageal hearts present in earthworm? The lateral hearts are present in 7th and 9th segment, and the lateral esophageal hearts are present in 12th and 13th segments. 7th and 9th lateral hearts and lateral esophageal hearts in 12th and 13th segment. The nervous system of cockroach. The different parts of the nervous system: brain, then it has segmental ganglia and sensory structures. Coming to the brain, what is brain actually? Brain is nothing but the supraesophageal ganglion. We are calling this ganglion as the brain because of its dorsal location. Nerves arising from the antennae and the compound eyes are connected to the brain. Then the segmental ganglia. Paired segmental ganglia. In the thoracic segment, 3 segmental ganglia, 1 in each thoracic segment. And in the abdominal segment, 6 in the abdomen. 3 in the thorax, 6 in the abdomen. 3 in the thorax, 6 in the abdomen. Now this is, I have tried to show, for example, this is individual segment. So there are segmental ganglia. They are fused and also connected by these longitudinal connectives. Longitudinal connectives like this. And then nerves are arising from here. Nerves are arising which are supplying to various parts. Now this is towards the belly side, the ventral side. We know that in the invertebrates the nerve cord is ventral. It is in the ventral side. Sensory structures, very important. At least you should know the names of the sensory structures. There are maxillary palps, labial palps, palp. Palp is any segmented appendage. Any segmented appendage is called a palp. So palp from maxilla called maxillary palp, labial palp, then compound eyes, 1 pair on the dorsal side of the head, 1 pair of antennae and anal cerci. These are the different sensory structures in a cockroach. As you can see that, unlike us, our brain is mainly confined to the cranial region, and that is the main control center of the body. Such type of arrangement is not there in insects and in cockroach. In fact, the nervous system is diffusely present throughout the body. Therefore, it is said that if you cut the head of the cockroach, if the head of cockroach is cut off, it will survive for about a week. How and why? The reason is because in the head region, very little part of the nervous system is present, and majority of the nervous system is in the thoracic and the abdominal segments. One point about the compound eyes of cockroach. Now, compound eye means the eye is made up of about 2000 small units. Each unit is called ommatidium. So each eye is made up of about 2000 hexagonal units called ommatidia. One is ommatidium, many ommatidia. Now, you know that in insects they have a mosaic vision. The vision is called mosaic vision. Now, these two are very, very important questions for NEET examination. My question to you is, suppose if a cockroach is seeing this golf ball, it is a golf ball. Now, what does a mosaic vision means? Will he see this ball as one ball which is made up of small parts, or many small balls? What will his eyes see? Yes, so this is actually the mosaic vision. The complete image is broken into small pieces, and each ommatidium it only senses a part of the image. It only senses a part of the image. So each ommatidium forms one small part of the image. Many ommatidia, they all will make the image all at once, and we see the mosaic vision. Now, since cockroach is a nocturnal animal, it has got a vision which is characteristic to nocturnal animals. What is that? In night, the light availability is low. There is twilight or dim light. So, in such cases, the sensitivity of the eye is very high, so that mild and the mild light rays can be sensed by it. At the same time, high sensitivity comes with low resolution. So resolution is compromised, wherein sensitivity is very high in such vision. Now let us begin with the reproduction in cockroach. Cockroaches are dioecious animal. Dioecious means sexes are separate and well developed. So we have male system separate and female system separate in different animals. Let us now begin with the male reproductive system in cockroach. Now these are the parts to ponder upon. Testes, very important. This is actually the gonad. One pair of testes lying in the abdomen on both the sides laterally, and they extend from 4th to 6th abdominal segment. So these longitudinal or filamentous that you see, it is the testes. Testes is connected to this fine duct which is known as vas deferens. Vas deferens open into a temporary reservoir called seminal vesicle, and seminal vesicle then opens to outside through the ejaculatory duct. Let me again tell you, this is the vas deferens to seminal vesicle to ejaculatory duct, and ejaculatory duct opens through male gonopore to the outside. Remember that the male gonopore lies ventral to the anus, and this is an important question for the NEET, that male gonopore lies ventral to the anus. Now, besides the testes, there are gonapophyses, also called phelomeres. These are asymmetric chitinous plates which are present in the hind end, in the brood pouch of the male cockroaches. Gonapophyses are also known as phelomeres. So these asymmetric chitinous plates are called gonapophyses. Another name given to gonapophyses is phelomeres. The different phelomeres, it is a left phelomere, ventral phelomere, right phelomere, then there is a titillator, and then there is a pseudopenis. As you can understand from their very location and the name, they help in copulation. They help in transfer of gametes from the male to the female, and sperms are temporarily stored in the seminal vesicle. There the sperms are glued together. They form a bundle and all are glued together, and each bundle is called spermatophore, and the male release the sperm not individually but as spermatophores. So these are the accessory glands, which is made up of two parts. One is a long tubule and short tubule. This purple color is LT, long tubule, and this pink color is ST, short tubules. They form a characteristic gland called mushroom gland, and mushroom glands are located in the 6th and 7th abdominal segment. Mushroom glands are accessory reproductive glands in males. So students, that's about the reproductive system in male cockroach. Now let us begin with the female cockroach. This is the female reproductive system of cockroach. The different parts are ovaries, which are the main gonads, oviducts, spermathecae, the structures that store spermatophore after copulation, and the collateral gland, the accessory reproductive glands. Let us take one by one. Each ovary is made up of 8 tubules called ovarioles. So these individuals, what you see here, are ovarioles, and each ovary is a bunch of 8 ovarioles. Number one, this is one ovariole, and you can see that inside the ovariole, the eggs are at different stages of development. The young one, and then the eggs are maturing. This is one ovariole. You have to remember that the ovaries extend from 2nd to the 6th abdominal segment. Each ovary is connected to these oviduct, and both the oviduct combine to form a common oviduct, also called vagina. Then the vagina opens as the female gonopore in the genital pouch or the brood pouch. Now this is the genital pouch, this one. What I am outlining here is the genital pouch. Inside the genital pouch, what you see here, this is the genital chamber, and this part, the lower part, is called vestibule. I repeat, the genital pouch is made up of number 1, genital chamber, number 2, vestibule. Genital chamber, vestibule combine to form genital pouch or brood pouch. These spermathecae also open into the genital pouch. Spermathecae are one pair, but the one of them is more developed. Similarly, what you find that the collateral gland is also more developed on one side. What you find here are gonapophyses. These structures are gonapophyses. They help in copulation. So, a very common question that comes about the collateral glands. What do collateral glands do? They are accessory reproductive gland. Their secretion from the egg case or ootheca. Their secretion from the egg case or ootheca. Continuing with the reproductive system of cockroach. The fertilization and development. During copulation, spermatophores, bundles of sperms, spermatophores are transferred from male to female. Now, in the female, they are stored in the spermathecae. When the eggs are fertilized, then the eggs are encased in a bag or a small case which is called ootheca. Now this is very small, about 8 mm long, or you can imagine it is about 3 by 8th of an inch. 3 by 8th of an inch, reddish brown, dark brown structure. At one time, a female lays about 9 to 10 such ootheca, and each ootheca contains about 14 to 16 fertilized eggs. Again, after copulation, the female releases 9 to 10 ootheca. Each ootheca has got 14 to 16 fertilized eggs. Development in cockroach, particularly the Periplaneta americana, is porometabolous. Porometabolous means there is a nymphal stage. Nymphal stage, not a larval stage. It is nymphal stage. So, because there is no larval stage, the development, we can call this development as direct. And where is the fertilization occurring? External or internal? It is internal. Fertilization is internal and development is direct. Only nymphal stage is there. Now, nymphal stage, why we are not calling it a larva? Because it resembles like the adult. A larva is not only morphologically but physiologically different from the adult. A nymphal stage can be imagined like a newborn baby, a baby in case of human beings. So these nymphal stages, they grow by molting. Molting is the shedding of the outermost cuticle. Then only they can grow because the outermost cuticle is tough. In Periplaneta americana, it molts about 13 times. To fully develop, it molts about 13 times. As I told you, the nymph and the adults are similar, except one point. Nymphs don't have wings, they are wingless. Nymphs are wingless. They don't have wings, but they may have wing pads. They may have wing pads. Now remember that next to the last nymphal stage, may have wing pads, not wings, wing pads. The economic importance of cockroach. Cockroaches do not have any economic importance. Most of the species are wild. However, they can act like pests and they can spoil our food grains, they can spoil our crop because these are omnivorous. Remember, cockroaches are omnivorous. So they can act like a pest. However, they can be mechanical carrier of pathogens, pathogenic bacteria, fungi. So they can act like a mechanical carrier. They can contaminate the food and spoil the food. That's about the economic importance of cockroach. Bits on earthworm. Typhlosole. What is typhlosole? It is a median fold in the gut wall. Where dorsal or ventral? Answer is dorsal. In the dorsally, there is a single median fold in the gut wall. The question is, what is the function of that? Answer is, it increases the absorptive surface area. It increases the absorptive surface area. Another question, where it is present, what is the site of typhlosole? Now, just imagine this to be the gut of the earthworm. This side is the mouth, the first segment, and the last segment, this side is the anus. Now, you just take 26th segment onwards. After 26th, you will have the typhlosolar region and it will continue roughly till the last 23, 24 or 25. Last but 23, last but 24 or last but 25. A rough idea. Now they can give you a question. For example, they can give you, if the earthworm has 100 segments, what is the most likely site of typhlosolar region? So that way you can answer 26th onwards and last but either 23 or 24 or 25. Another question is, where is the female genital pore is situated in earthworm? Remember, it is in the single pore in the 14th segment. Testes, where they are present testes? Yes, they are present in 10th and 11th segment. 10th and 11th segment, 2 pairs. Accessory reproductive glands, again 2 pairs in 17th and 19th segment. 2 pairs, 17th and 19th segment. In the garden, earthworm can be traced by their fecal deposits, also known as, they are also called the worm casting. Worm casting. And lastly, the process of increasing soil fertility is known as, yes, it is known as Vermicomposting. Vermicomposting. Some important points of Rana tigrina, which is the Indian bullfrog. And these are actually points taken from the bits or MCQs. Upper eyelid is also known as nictitating membrane, and remember, it is immovable. It is not movable, it is immovable. Function of that membrane: when the animal is on land, it keeps the eyelid moist. So it keeps the eyelid moist when frog is on land, and when in water, this prevent or this help in protection of the eyeball. So that is nictitating membrane, also known as the third eyelid. The third eyelid. Tympanum. Tympanum is the eardrum. One pair on just behind the eye, one pair of tympanum. Remember, these are not mammals, so they don't have the external ear. Only mammals have external ear. Then the body is divisible into head and trunk. What is not there? There is no neck and no tail. Frogs are carnivorous, very, very important. And when we compare their alimentary canal with any other, which is herbivorous animal, the alimentary canal of carnivores is generally shortened or shorter, reduced. So the length of alimentary canal is reduced since it is a carnivore. Three modes of external respiration, very important. What are the three modes? One is cutaneous, through the moist skin. One is buccopharyngeal. Buccopharyngeal means through the buccopharyngeal cavity. Buccopharyngeal cavity. Buccal plus pharyngeal is buccopharyngeal. And the third one is pulmonary. Pulmonary means through the lungs. When in water, it can only do it by cutaneous, because buccopharyngeal and pulmonary requires air to be taken in, right? So it is only cutaneous when in water. Generally also, frog respire through moist skin. RBCs are present, they are red in color, therefore RBCs, but they are nucleated. That is one difference. Then the hepatic portal system, it is present like mammals, but renal portal system is also present, and renal portal system is absent in mammals, but it is present in amphibians like frog.